What's happening? Andy here. I am joined today by Mark and Kristin. How are you guys?
Good. How are you, Andy?
I'm great. What's happening with IBPI? We're here to talk about a new program that you guys have launched. And I thought maybe real quick, why don't you've been on the show a couple times and a few times, and why don't you just give us a little background, who's IBPI, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so IBPI is the largest buying group in the office equipment industry. Most of the folks that'll be watching this know who we are and are probably members of IBPI. So we've been around since '87. We've got about 500 dealer members across the country, Canada, and the Caribbean. We've got about 40 partner programs that our members purchase from. So we are mostly known for our rebate programs, and we are putting that together right now for 2023 purchases. So, Andy, as you know, there is a ton going on with us right now. We're doing year end 2023. We're calculating member rebate checks, and our big IBPI Connect event is happening the first week of April, which is just 3 weeks away. And we are pulling our hair out, getting ready for all that. That's why I'm wearing this hat today, so you can't see all the hair that I've pulled out.
Well, I love the fact that you're wearing the hat, and that's not just a regular hat. That's an IBPI.
Yes, this is
So
the
yeah,
IBPI special edition. There's only 50 of these on the planet. So
yeah.
very valuable hat right here.
I don't know where mine is. I had to wash mine actually. I wore golfing. It was anyway. We didn't come here to talk about the hats. Um, I could talk about them all day, but we're here to talk about a new program.
I've
You need to get
Yes.
a hat. We need to get you a
really
hat.
left
Yeah,
out.
we do need to get Kristin a hat for
We'll
sure.
have to
We'll
talk about
do
how
that.
how you get the hats. But so
Okay.
Kristin, you're from Nest Health Connections, and you are part of a new program. So Mark, one of the things that Mark's done since I've been working with these guys is brought a lot of new partners in, and the cool thing is a lot of them are from outside the industry. You are kind of outside the industry, but you work with someone very well known in our industry. So tell us a little bit about Nest Health Communications, what you guys do, and then let's get into how you and Mark came together and where this is going.
Okay, cool. Well, first, I just like a slight little correction. So it's Nest Health Connections, and the connections is actually a key part of who we are. So I founded the company 7 years ago. We're based in Denver, Colorado, and we are a corporate wellness company. And corporate wellness looked very different 7 years ago when I started compared to where we're at today. So when we first started, we were working with companies exclusively in Colorado, bringing customized holistic wellness solution on site to these companies. And today our business has grown, and really COVID helped us quite a lot delivering our message virtually. So our programs are very, very customized to the individual employer and group based on their needs, their employee needs. We do lots of surveys to understand the needs of the company. Also, budgeting, understanding how much you have, and then really the culture of the organization. So we really like to say that we incorporate well-being into the culture of the organization. And it's not just, food, nutrition, proper nutrition and movement and stress reduction. We go well beyond all of those. Those are really like the pillars. But we go well beyond that, and we bring just really unique content because you absolutely never know what's going to spark somebody's interest to get started on their own well-being journey. So I have lots of examples of that if you want to hear about it. Oh, wait, you're muted, Andy.
Am muted. Thought we were going to have a situation here, but we didn't. What kind of companies do you typically work with? I mean, we're going to talk about one that we all know of, but you don't just work in this industry. So what are your typical companies you work with? Kinds of.
Yeah, I mean, we have a big variety of companies. We've worked with construction companies, we've worked with property management companies. But today we work with a lot of technology companies. We work with some software development companies. And Marco, as you guys know, it was one of our very favorite clients that we work with, and we've been working with them for the last couple years and have had amazing success with their employees. So that's been really, really fun. For the most part, our target has been mid-market companies. So, I kind of define mid-market as 1,000 employees. About $500 million in revenue is sort of our sweet spot. But that's why what we're doing with IBPI is really special, because we have created this customized program that's usually, for a larger size company, but it's available to everybody. And we really designed it with those companies that have 5 or 10 employees. So accessible to all.
Well, I think everybody's ears perked up when you said Marco. So that's, I think, a good segue back to Mark and maybe discussing how you guys came together. And I'm going to guess it had something to do with Marco and your board, Mark. Why don't you tell us how this all came together and why you decided this was something IBPI needs to offer their members?
Yeah, so Doug Albregts at Marco is a board member on IBPI, and love Doug, love having him be a part of our group. And a lot of the partners that we have come from thoughts from our board members. They'll approach me with, "Hey, maybe we should consider these folks." So that's exactly what happened with Doug. Doug's been using Nest and Kristin for a couple of years now, and at one of our meetings last year, he brought them up to the group as a potential partner, and Kristin and I started speaking. And listen, Doug has had a great experience with their wellness program, not only for the company itself and all of their employees, but he talks about it, how much it's impacted his life in a positive way, having the wellness program in place. So after I talked with Kristin about it and really learned that her programs are typically designed for these big, huge companies, I thought, what a great opportunity for us to almost like crowdsource something that we could put together for our small to medium-sized dealers that would never really have an opportunity to be engaged in a program like this. So when Doug brought that up, it just made perfect sense, and all the pieces fell into place. And we brought Kristin on board, and she's done a great job out of the gate. And in fact, there's a promo going on right now that if you're attending IBPI Connect in April, then you get a free month of this program during the month of March. So you get a little sneak peek as to what the program would look like before you even have to sign up. So for those attendees, I know we've had some signups for folks that are attending, that they're going to take advantage of this free month. And just 2 days ago, Kristin and one of her folks at Nest put on a little midday movement 15-minute video exercise, which was a lot of fun. I had never done anything like that before, and I got to participate in that, and it was neat. It was cool. It's something different, and really, I think something that everybody will enjoy and get something out of.
Very cool. So you've been working, Kristin, you guys have been working with Marco for a couple of years now. So if I'm understanding, you scaled this kind of down so that smaller companies, most of the companies in our industry are not Marco size. There's a handful that are, not very many. But we do have anything from, couple $1 million up to, I'd say 15, 20 million is the sweet spot for most of the dealers in this industry, although it does go all the way up to the Marcos. So when you engage with somebody like this, what does that look like? Even at a smaller level, medium, is it different for each of them? Obviously it's, if it's a bigger company, it's going to be a bigger rollout, right? But I mean, is it, what does it look like when somebody says, you know what, I like the idea of that. I want to, bring on a program that looks at the wellness of, that helps with the wellness of my people. How do they engage with you? And then from there, what's the process like? How does that go?
Yeah. the very first thing, and probably one of the most important things, is engaging with the leadership team. And going back to Marco, that's why our program has been so successful, because Doug has been on board, right? Like, he loves the concept. So when your leadership is on board and is excited about it and is attending, right? Your managers, your directors and your managers and your employees are more apt to do so. So that is really like the first step, is engaging with the senior leaders to understand the culture and how we can impact the culture. So where do you want, where are your pain points? Where do you want a shift? Really kind of understanding the organization. So that's like the very, very first step, is like really meeting with the senior leaders. Are they open to the concept of corporate wellness? Are they open, right? Do they, will they be involved? And if they say to me right away, if they're like, I'm out, but my benefits team will probably love this, I'm usually not interested. And because if the senior leaders aren't involved, then it usually is just another program that they offer. So it has to be, really accepted by the leadership, and embraced, and their participation, and then we go from there. So we really understand, the first steps are understanding, like, we have companies that are very young, the workforce is young, and they're really focused on retention of those workers and then recruitment. They're in a highly desirable field of, technology or software development or whatever. And they're always looking. So they use the program for recruitment and retention. So we get to understand that.
So let me just stop you right there, because you just said two magic words in our industry, right? And that is if you ask any dealer what their biggest challenge is, I'm going to say that probably 9 out of 10 of them are going to say keeping people. And so how does this play into that? How does this help a dealer keep their people longer? And then, by the way, this community, I'm sure Mark's gone over it with you. Most of these are family. I shouldn't say most of them. A lot of them are family businesses. There's a lot of legacy here. Even the ones that aren't family businesses, you've got families that have been working there for these companies for years, father and mother and son and daughter. So how does that go?
It's building the community, your employees, the culture in the healthiest way possible, but also having fun, right? A lot of what we do can be serious, right? Trying to get people to understand that sleep is important, or here's some tools for stress management, and all of those kind of education things. But there's a massive component that is fun and not taking ourselves too seriously. So for example, at Marco, over the last couple of weeks, we've had a virtual 5K where employees, wherever they're located, they have to do this 5K challenge. They don't have to, it's obviously, it's up to them. But they post their pictures on our team's channel, and they have a lot of fun with it. They bring their animals, they bring their friends and families and colleagues, and they just have fun getting outside. We see teams of people going at lunchtime. They also can go on the weekends or whenever they want. But
so these guys are the most competitive people in the world. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but like office equipment resellers, Marco, people who work at a company like that, have you noticed that from, have you seen that from where you sit when you do these challenges? Because I just came from another dealer meeting, and I mean, they had a goofy team beating thing on stage, and these guys didn't care. I mean, it was so funny, the things they had them doing, but they were all in. They wanted to win. They don't care what it is. They want to win. They're competitive salespeople.
Yeah, we do like this. The 5K wasn't really about like the time. It was just like about doing it. And but we've done steps challenges and all other kinds of challenges, right? Where it gets fierce. It absolutely gets fierce.
I can see that.
I had to like limit the number of steps people could do per day because it was getting outrageous. I'm like, these people are not working at all. They're stepping like 20 miles a day so that they could win, $100, whatever.
How many hours a week does a company like a Marco, like any copier dealer, in your program, in your plan, how many hours a week do the employees dedicate towards these types of engagements, these types of contests? And
Yeah, I mean, we like to touch the employee in some way, whether it's, on a Teams channel or, newsletters or live content, breaks, like Mark said, like a 10-minute movement break or a 10-minute meditation break or whatever. We like to touch the employee, most days, with messaging or some kind of activity. But I would say, like, overall, like if an employee spent 1 hour a week on our content, that would probably be like the most they would do.
so it's
So
not crazy intrusive.
no,
It's not gonna take
no,
over their world.
no.
That would be a concern. I think that, maybe someone listening to this might think, well, I'm paying them to be in the field selling, and here they are doing these contests. But there's a value to it. I mean, I hated it when I was a sales rep, honestly, but um, maybe I just wasn't doing the right kinds of them. It was just, there's a value to it though. When you get the right people doing the right contests, and like what I used to love was anything where we were a team, where we were like doing blitzes in the field, where we could come back and say we did the most, we won something. It's just, I enjoyed that back when I so Mark, over to you a little bit. I want to talk about how does this go out to the dealers? What's your plan? You have a big meeting coming up. We're going to be there. I won't be there, but Jake will be there.
Yep.
In Florida in a couple weeks. How are we going to expose everyone to Kristin, into the corporate wellness program, and what's the rollout going to be from your side?
So Kristin's going to be in Orlando in April. She will be at the IBPI table. Doug's going to sit with her at the IBPI table to kind of talk about his experience with the program. So she'll get to meet with 100 folks while she's there. And you know our event, right? Our speed dating event. So she'll get to
I
spend
love those events.
about 15 minutes
Yep.
with everyone there. And she's going to be our speaker in the afternoon. So about the time that you're hitting that little post lunch dip in energy, Kristin's going to get up and talk about corporate wellness and maybe get us moving around a little bit. So excited to have her there in April. And then after that, we're hitting everybody, right? We're talking to all of our dealers and promoting this program, the benefits that they can get from the program. And not only is it a benefit, but it's an investment, because in a lot of ways, if you invest in this program as a company and your employees get more healthy, more well, during that time, that's going to help with retention. It might positively impact your health insurance claims over the long run. So it's not only just like a wellness program, it's an investment, and it's something that you can see a return on in several different ways.
So I was going to wind this down, but you started nodding when he said health insurance claims. So before we wind this down, if you maybe expand on that just a little, because that looked like something we should maybe talk about.
Well, I mean, it is a huge benefit when you've got employees that are really taking their well-being into their own hands. And we're promoting preventative care appointments, and we're promoting healthy eating, and we're promoting just a lifestyle, right, improvements. And we'll see, and Doug has been amazing, sharing a lot of the the dollars that they've saved. So year over year, their health insurance premiums have decreased.
No kidding.
More than I mean, I don't want to say the exact number because
no, you don't need to, but saying it decreased, everybody else is going up and that went down. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Huge deal. So,
yeah.
We've been thrilled with the results and the fact that employees embrace, the programming. And I mean, more than like that big number, I mean, that is EBITDA, and that is important, right? Really, really important. But the heartfelt, employee feedback is what really lights me up. And I mean, that just happened to me yesterday, where I got like the most incredible heartfelt, message where, thank you for doing what you're doing, and, bringing all this content, because, it might be a talk on nutrition that, with this one, it's not me, the connection, like what I said right away in the beginning, the connections is a big part of who we are, because it's not Kristin's message that I'm sharing. Like, it's nothing to do with me. There are thought leaders in this space that are incredible and that we connect with and we bring to this program. So, IBPI well-being, that's what we branded it. They can expect to hear from all of these different thought leaders, and somebody might spark that little, like, oh my gosh, that's meaningful to me. And so you never know how it's going to play out with each person, but whether it's the decrease in insurance or increase in employee satisfaction, which leads to retention, there's so many benefits to just investing in this well-being that just positively impacts your culture.
Very cool. Well, that's an exciting new direction for you guys, Mark. Congratulations on signing, and congratulations on Kristin on your opportunity with these guys. Jake will pop over and say hello, introduce himself to you at the meeting in Orlando. Good luck on your first one. But that sounds like just an awesome program. I mean, one of the things I think is a great opportunity is just, we mentioned it before, but these are family businesses. The people running these businesses treat their employees like their family. Culture is a huge part of it. They're concerned about them. I've heard story after story about how dealers loan their people money and have gone over and above and beyond to help people in ways that, an employer normally wouldn't do that. And so I'm sure you're going to get a lot of interest in resellers who want to look at a program that is based on making their employees healthier, feel better, be happier. So just exciting for IBPI, and I look forward to meeting you in person at some point. Any last shout outs? Mark, we'll start with you, and then Kristin, you can take it home.
Hey, shout out to all of my folks coming to IBPI Connect in April. We have a record number of attendees and a record number of tables, sponsored tables. In fact, we're in a room, we're going to be packed in this room. So just prepare yourself. It's going to be crowded, but there's going to be a ton of buzz, as there always is, but even more this year. So very excited about that event. Can't wait to get started putting it on.
Awesome. Very cool. And how about you, Kristin?
Well, first of all, Andy, thank you so much for having me. And I'm really excited to get to know, all of the members and, interact at IBPI Connect. And I'm just really thrilled for this opportunity. Psyched to be in Florida. And I would just say, go visit ibpiwellbeing.com. Right? IBPIwellbeing.com.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So website. So you can visit that and get more information on what we're doing. There's a contact me sort of form that you can fill out, and I'd love to chat. So reach out. It's just a very easy process. We make it as simple as you could possibly imagine, and fun, right? And that's what it's about, health and happiness. So yeah, really appreciate the time, Andy. Thank you so much.
Well, without your help, you don't have anything, right? So it's a great program.
That's right.
It sounds like just a super program for resellers who are looking to do something special for their people. And congrats on the program, and thanks both of you guys for coming on today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy.
Take care. We'll see you guys soon.
All right.